Have you ever wondered where the moon dust from the historic Apollo 11 mission went? That's a question that has sparked intrigue and curiosity for over half a century. July 20th, 1969, marked a pivotal moment in human history when Neil Armstrong, aboard the Apollo 11, made his giant leap for mankind, stepping onto the moon's surface. But what was going through his mind at that moment? Well, a range of possibilities, it seems. Scientists had warned Armstrong that the lunar surface might be covered in a powdery dust that could ignite upon landing. Or worse, the surface dust might be so deep that the lunar module, with Armstrong and Aldrin inside, would begin to sink, like being trapped in cosmic quicksand. The United States had been preparing for a moon landing for nearly a decade, ever since President John F. Kennedy declared space exploration a national priority. But the moon's geology remained a mystery. We had mapped the moon's surface but never touched it. No human had gotten within 9 miles of our only satellite. The only way to answer these pressing questions was to set foot on the moon, regardless of the inherent risks. To ensure the success of the mission, NASA had a contingency plan. Upon exiting the lunar module, Armstrong's first task was to scoop up whatever material was at hand and store it in a cloth bag, labeled Lunar Sample Return, attached to his spacesuit. This blind grab for lunar material would ensure that even if an immediate escape was necessary, they'd return to Earth with something worth analyzing. Fortunately, the Sea of Tranquility, where they landed, lived up to its name. Armstrong took his historic steps without incident. Alongside Buzz Aldrin, they scoured the moon's surface, collecting valuable lunar samples and sharing their observations with Mission Control in Houston. They found plenty of powder, the consequence of solar winds and a constant barrage of micrometeorites that beat down on the milky white regolith. This dust followed the astronauts back into the lunar module, and it smelled and tasted like gunpowder. The Sea of Tranquility lived up to its name, allowing Armstrong and Aldrin to safely collect lunar samples. And that was just the beginning of this incredible journey. What happened to the moon dust that Armstrong and Aldrin collected? A question that has intrigued many, but before we get into that, let's talk about the moon dust itself. This wasn't just ordinary dust. The lunar surface, as Armstrong and Aldrin discovered, was covered in a powdery substance, a consequence of relentless solar winds and a constant bombardment of micrometeorites that pummeled the moon's milky white regolith. This dust didn't just stay put, it clung to the astronauts' boots and followed them back into the lunar module. And here's where it gets interesting. The astronauts reported that this moon dust had a peculiar smell and taste. Yes, you heard that right, taste. It was described as resembling gunpowder. Now, while most of us may not know what gunpowder tastes like, it's an intriguing detail that adds another layer to this lunar mystery. But let's not forget that this dust wasn't just a souvenir. It was a tangible piece of another world, a testament to humankind's first steps on a celestial body other than Earth. It was a symbol of exploration, courage, and scientific discovery. Yet securing these artifacts, these pieces of space history, proved to be a challenge. From the very beginning, NASA and other space explorers have struggled with preserving and protecting the physical remnants of space travel, from the intricate components of spacecraft to the moon rocks and dust themselves. These aren't just objects, they're pieces of history, fragments of our journey into the unknown. Armstrong's lunar sample return bag, filled with moon dust, was supposed to be a treasured exhibit at the Smithsonian's National Air and Space Museum. However, the course of history took an unexpected turn. While the moon dust should have ended up in the Smithsonian, it instead ended up in court, sparking a fundamental question. The question being, can you put a price tag on moon dust, on a piece of space, on a fragment of history? Stick around as we delve deeper into this celestial conundrum in our next scene. Can you put a price on moon dust? This question led to a lengthy legal battle that would involve a collection of characters, each with their own take on the value of space-age artifacts. It was a courtroom drama that would rival any Hollywood script, only this was real life, and the stakes were astronomical. First, there was the former NASA investigator who, in a twist of fate, found himself on the opposite side of the courtroom from the agency he once served. His argument? The moon dust, a tangible piece of history, should not be locked away in a museum, but instead should be accessible to the public. Then, there was the museum curator, a figure of authority in the world of celestial artifacts. He was convicted on federal charges, adding a layer of intrigue to the proceedings. His argument was that the moondust was a priceless artifact that should be preserved for future generations in a museum setting. The U.S. Marshals Service also had a stake in the battle, tasked with the responsibility of ensuring that the moondust was kept safe and secure throughout the legal proceedings. Theirs was a silent but critical role, maintaining the integrity of the artifact at the heart of the dispute. Finally, there was the auction winner, the dark horse in this race. This individual believed in the financial value of the moondust, seeing it not just as a piece of history, but as a lucrative investment. The winning bid? A staggering $2.3 million. This motley crew of characters, each with their own perspective on the value of space-age artifacts, engaged in a legal fight that would ultimately determine the fate of the moondust. Who was right? Well, that's a question with an answer as complex as the cosmos itself. The battle concluded with a staggering $2.3 million winning bid. That's right, someone shelled out over $2 million for a bag of dust. But not just any dust. This was moondust, a piece of our universe's history. As Armstrong and Aldrin returned to Earth, what was the fate of the lunar module and the precious moondust? The Apollo 11 team had left the lunar module on the moon, a quiet sentinel of human achievement. The service module, the long cylindrical spacecraft that had propelled the crew to the moon and provided them with electricity throughout their journey, was jettisoned mid-flight just as planned. Imagine for a moment the lunar module sitting in the Sea of Tranquility, a monument to one of humanity's greatest feats. Inside, traces of moondust linger, a testament to the first human footsteps on the moon. This dust, once feared to be a threat to the astronauts' safety, proved to be a fascinating discovery, revealing the moon's powdery surface and unique smell, likened to gunpowder. With the mission accomplished and the sample bag filled with lunar material, Armstrong and Aldrin began their journey home. The lunar module, now a relic of human exploration, was left behind on the moon's surface, its mission fulfilled. The service module, having served its purpose, was discarded mid-flight, its job of propelling the crew to the moon and back completed. It was a poignant moment, a testament to the transient nature of human endeavors and the enduring legacy they leave behind. As the astronauts hurtled back towards Earth, the lunar module remained, a solitary monument on the moon's surface. The moondust, that unique, powdery material, was now safely stowed away, ready for further analysis back on Earth. The return journey was as monumental as the journey there. The Earth, a blue marble in the vast expanse of space, grew larger as the Apollo 11 team got closer. The journey that had started with a giant leap for mankind was nearing its end, but the discoveries and the questions it raised were just beginning. The astronauts returned to Earth, but the question of the missing moondust remained unanswered. The lunar module and the secrets it held stayed behind, a silent witness to the first human steps on the moon and the beginning of a new era of exploration and discovery. So, where did the missing moondust end up? That is the question that has intrigued space enthusiasts and scientists alike for years now. After all, it was not just any dust. It was the very first sample collected from the moon's surface, a tangible piece of our celestial neighbor. Following Armstrong's historic moon landing, the moondust he collected was supposed to be safely tucked away in the Smithsonian's National Air and Space Museum. But instead, it ended up in the court, at the center of a lengthy legal battle. The question raised was as intriguing as it was complex. Can you put a price on moondust? Rumors and speculations swirled around the missing moondust. Some said it was stolen. Others claimed it was lost in the maze of NASA's storage facilities. A few even suggested that it was secretly sold off in a black market of space artifacts. But none of these theories were ever proven. The case took an unexpected turn when a former NASA investigator sided against the space agency in court. According to him, the moondust had been wrongly categorized as a regular artifact instead of a precious lunar sample, which led to its misplacement. While the legal battle raged on, the moondust itself became the subject of a heated debate. Scientists argued over its value for research, while collectors saw it as a priceless piece of space history. In the end, it was an auction winner who walked away with the prize, paying a whopping $2.3 million for the missing Moondust. Despite the resolution of the court case, the mystery of the missing Moondust remains unsolved. Theories continue to abound, but the truth remains elusive. Is it still out there somewhere, waiting to be discovered? Or has it been lost forever, a piece of lunar history that slipped through our fingers? To this day, the incredible case of NASA's missing Moondust continues to fascinate and puzzle us. What is the true value of space artifacts such as Moondust? You might wonder. The court case regarding Armstrong's lunar sample return bag doesn't just debate the ownership of a piece of history. It raises profound questions about the value and ownership of space artifacts. Like the bag of Moondust, these artifacts aren't just physical objects. They're tangible pieces of our space exploration history. They're relics of human curiosity and ambition, testaments to our desire to reach beyond our own planet and explore the unknown. Space artifacts can have a monetary value, as seen when Armstrong's Moondust sold for $2.3 million at auction. But their worth goes beyond dollars and cents. From a scientific perspective, these artifacts offer invaluable insights into the universe. Moondust, for example, can reveal secrets about the moon's geology, the sun's activity, and even the origins of our solar system. Cultural historians, on the other hand, might argue that the value of these artifacts lies in their symbolic power. They represent defining moments in human history, milestones in our technological progress, and the collective achievements of our species. They are, in essence, artifacts of human culture and civilization, albeit ones created far from home. From a legal standpoint, the value of space artifacts is intrinsically linked to issues of ownership and property rights. The court case over Armstrong's Moondust sparked debates over who owns space artifacts and how they should be handled and preserved. Should they be considered public property, owned by humanity as a whole? Or do they belong to the astronauts who risked their lives to retrieve them, or the countries that funded their missions? These differing perspectives highlight the multifaceted value of space artifacts. They're not just objects, they're scientific tools, historical symbols, and legal conundrums. They're worth millions of dollars, yet their true value may be priceless. The court case raised more questions than answers about the value and ownership of space artifacts. And as we continue to explore the cosmos, these questions will only become more important. Our quest for understanding isn't just about the stars and planets out there. It's also about how we value and preserve the artifacts of our journey. As we look to the stars, the mystery of the missing Moondust continues to intrigue us. This fascination isn't unfounded. It's rooted in the enduring allure of the moon, our celestial neighbor, and the allure of space exploration itself. For centuries, the moon has been a source of wonder, inspiring countless tales, scientific theories, and dreams of what lies beyond our earthly confines. The moon, with its barren beauty and stark landscapes, has always been a symbol of the unknown and the unreachable. Yet, the Apollo missions of the late 60s and early 70s brought the moon within our grasp, transforming it from a distant celestial body into a tangible reality. The lunar samples returned by these missions, including the elusive Moondust, have provided invaluable insights into the moon's geology and the history of our solar system. Yet the missing Moondust and the intriguing tale of its disappearance remind us that space exploration is not just about reaching new frontiers, but also about preserving and understanding what we find. The dust may be lost, but the story of its loss underscores the immense value and significance we place on these extraterrestrial artifacts. As we venture further into space and set our sights on distant planets and galaxies, we're likely to encounter more mysteries and make more discoveries. With each step we take, there's the potential for new knowledge and understanding, but also for new questions and enigmas. The universe, after all, is vast and infinitely complex. The future of space exploration is exciting and full of possibilities. It's a future where we may find answers to some of our most fundamental questions about the universe and our place in it. Yet it's also a future where we may uncover more mysteries, like the missing moondust, that challenge our understanding and push us to explore further. The incredible case of NASA's missing moondust serves as a reminder of the mysteries and wonders that await us in our exploration of the universe.